I'd like to welcome all the witnesses and thank them for their participation here this morning. You know, there's a difference between controversial decisions born out of legal ambiguity and decisions that I think subvert the purpose of public policy that are born out of an ideological agenda. One of the questions before us this morning is to whether the recent spate of decisions, 61 of them, by the board in September, is more fairly characterized as controversial decisions flowing from legal ambiguity or decisions that subvert the purpose of the National Labor Relations Act driven by an ideological agenda. We're going to debate that at some length this morning. The other concern that I have is about procedure and timing. Batches of decisions are not uncommon from the National Labor Relations Board. Mr. Cohen's testimony in particular points that out. I know he's going to talk about that later. But I'm struck by the differential between the seeming urgency to render the September decisions and the lack of urgency with the rights of people who've lost their jobs under protected activities. In the Earthgrains case, a worker was fired in 1998. At every stage of the proceedings, it was found the worker was protected by the law. The worker won, has yet to recover back pay. In the Baker Electric decision, it was found that a worker was unlawfully terminated, and there was an unlawful repudiation of a union agreement. In 1993, 14 years ago, the worker won, has yet to collect a dime of back pay. In the Domsey trading decision, 202 workers were illegally terminated in 1989 and 1990, 17 and 18 years ago. They've won at every stage of the process. It was found that their rights were violated. They've yet to collect a penny of back pay. I'm struck by a concern of the relative urgency to render the decisions that we saw in September, many of which I think can be fairly characterized as pro-employer, not all, and the lack of urgency to deal with cases where there's been a finding up through the process where workers have been treated unlawfully and unfairly and have yet to receive any of the remedies the law entitles them to. So we're going to have a vigorous discussion. We have an excellent panel, two excellent panels of witnesses.